I think what's rarely talked about is how difficult aquarium keeping can be. Having a fish tank can be beneficial to your mental health, yes, but I didn't want this to be a benefits of aquarium keeping type video. I just want to be real and talk about the difficulties that you will face when you struggle with depression and keep an aquarium. There's this reality of even though fish tanks can be therapeutic, calming, peaceful, an outlet for artistry and creativity, even though it's all of these things, aquarium keeping is difficult. It takes work. And I know all fish keepers feel this way, and I wanted to acknowledge this just in case you might feel this way too. I have this one video on my channel where I'm talking about a nano Walstad style tank that I set up. So consider subscribing so you don't miss the update video of when I add shrimp into this tank. I don't even have this tank anymore. I'm not adding shrimp to it. It doesn't exist. There's not going to be an update video on it. I simply just got overwhelmed and put all of the plants that was in that nano cube into the 55-gallon behind me. It's so very real, I think, to start a new tank. Maybe it's your first tank, maybe it's your third tank, and then as soon as you get going with it, you just neglect it after the novelty wears off. And it sucks, but it's very real and it happens. Most people in this hobby love fish tanks. They're so passionate about it. It's changed their lives, but I know we all can say it's not without its challenges. When I was writing this video, I knew I wanted to talk about two topics. The first is that aquariums are difficult. I know for people who have been in this hobby for a very long time, we can probably set up an aquarium like that and it will be probably successful. But imagine starting from the beginning in today's world when you have YouTube and influencers and premium products and different styles of aquariums. And you're just trying to keep fish alive. You are now starting out. When you're new to this hobby and you're now starting out, you're not thinking about the nitrogen cycle, what substrate you have, the temperament of your fish, compatible tank mates, the size of your tank, when to do water changes, how often should you feed your fish. These are things that you have to learn. You don't just know it from the jump. And once you do get the basics down through trial and error, the hobby is still hard. Your fish might get sick. You will experience fish death. You're going to have to experiment with medications, with quarantine. Things will go wrong. You can be the best of the best, and keeping life alive is still going to be hard. I just wanted to highlight this because everything nowadays is made to seem as easy, very beginner friendly and accessible. And while I do believe everyone can have an aquarium and keep one successfully, it is challenging. I don't want to set unrealistic expectations that this is going to be the easiest thing you've ever done. And that is something that you need to hear if you're struggling with depression or mental health. Many people will get their first tank and it's so calming, it's so beautiful, it's going to bring you a lot of joy. I really encourage you to start an aquarium if you haven't had one. I let my 55-gallon turn milky green for 4 months. I just ignored it. Nothing was wrong with my tank, right? It was just an algae bloom, but I couldn't see my fish. It didn't look good when I had company over. And the solution was spending $15 on a UV sterilizer, and now I have joy back into my aquarium and house. So easy to fix, but so hard to just get the ball rolling. And this leads me into my second topic of what you should do to prevent your aquarium from collapsing when you're struggling mentally. There's some things that we can do to set our tank up to be resilient to some neglect, that our fish tank can take a couple of punches and get right back up. We need to set up our tanks to be self-sufficient from the jump, so this way our aquariums can be as resilient as we are. Let me explain. We as humans already have things that we have to do to take care of ourselves. We need to eat, we need to drink water, we have to shower, we have to socialize. These are necessary things that we do as humans that without it, we are diminishing ourselves. Maintaining an aquarium is very similar. An aquarium should be an outwardly extension of our internal interest, not another burden for us to care about when we're already struggling to care about ourselves. So imagine having an aquarium where you need constant weekly water changes because your fish are producing too much waste and you don't have plants. Imagine having an aquarium with plants that have a very high demand of fertilizers and they won't grow if you're not weekly dosing liquid fertilizers. Imagine having an aquarium with fish that are constantly breeding and you have to take care of the fry and raise them into a different tank or remove the parents. All of these are examples of hard work All of these aquariums are aquariums that can collapse. They have the potential to collapse if we're not intervening constantly. That's why I advocate for aquariums that are as self sufficient as possible, as close to these naturalistic, self sustaining, Walstad style, father fish style type aquariums. Whatever you call them, as long as we take certain key influences from these types of natural aquariums, we can better ourselves and our tanks. It really does make your tank way more resilient to neglect. And I want to clarify, I do not mean neglect in the sense that you can purposefully do harm to your tank, but more so that it will be able to withstand a couple punches and still bounce back. Your aquarium will be more forgiving. If you don't feel up for doing the water change, maybe it's going to be okay because you have plants that can filter the water. Maybe you can get away with not feeding so habitually because your tank is stocked with infusoria or detritivores like snails, scuds, and shrimp that your fish can hunt. Maybe if we choose smaller fish, our tank will have a lower bioload and therefore toxins and waste products will accumulate slowly than if we had a bunch of large fish. There are a plethora of ways to make our aquariums a little bit more self sustaining and forgiving. And I think that's what makes aquarium keeping easy. I don't think success in aquariums comes from the fact that you're constantly tinkering with your water parameters or adding chemicals or changing your lights or chasing a specific pH. All of that is work. I believe success comes from letting nature do what it does, let it self regulate. A handful of pest snails, a cutting of pothos that you stick into your aquarium, and some duckweed floating on top could be what turns your aquarium from a constant headache to a self sufficient tank. And I just wanted to clarify, I do not think that you'll ever have a tank that is fully self sufficient. I do believe that we're always going to have some level of human intervention into our aquariums. I don't think there can be a fish tank that is truly set and forget forever. We're always at some point in time going to have to do a water top off. We're going to have to feed our fish. We might have to clean our mechanical filtration system. There is always going to be some level of human input in a successful aquarium. But I think by adopting the natural processes in our aquarium, we can do this simpler than if we were just buying automatic top-off units and buying automatic feeders. Thank you so much for watching my 7th YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm trying out something new with this new camera and setup. Let me know if you like it. I think it looks pretty good, but I would love to hear your comments down below. Additionally, please consider subscribing, leaving a comment, liking. Any sort of interaction with this video helps my channel grow and helps more people find me and my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.